We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live here on the Huddle. And I have a question for you this morning. Are you looking to get more views and more visibility for your live streams that when you go live on your uploaded videos that you upload on YouTube? Well, if that's your pain point that you need addressed this morning, we're going to talk about 5 tips on helping you to be able to optimize your live stream to get more views on YouTube. And we're starting right now. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to the Huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video, then we want to welcome you to the show. As we said this morning, we're going to be talking about 5 tips on how you can optimize your live streams when you go live on YouTube, how you can optimize your YouTube videos that you upload on video. Because let's face it, the name of the game is to get views. The name of the game is to get the discoverability, people seeing and watching your content. And so we're going to talk about that this morning. 5 tips on how to get optimized on YouTube, on live stream video content that you're doing. But before we do that, if you are joining me on the chat this morning, if you are part of Team Live this morning, do me a favor, let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. And if you're a part of Team Replay, the crew, the posse, the online squad, then let me know in the comment section that you are a part of Team Replay checking out this live stream. And so we go over here to the chat, see who we got here, a part of Team Replay. Yeah, we got our one, our only Mr. Real Chicago in the house this morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. If you are joining us on YouTube, let us know where you're watching us from. And so let's get into the comment as you people are starting to pile in into Team Live. We're going to get into the comment to the content and get started. So let's fire up the stream deck. Firing up the stream deck this morning, as we said, we're going to be talking about 5 tips on how to optimize your live stream. Not just your live stream, but your videos, because after you go live and you end the broadcast, you've already have one piece of content you've already produced, and that's your live stream. But then your live stream becomes a second piece of content, which is your replay video. And so that replay video that you have needs to be optimized for search. It needs to be optimized so it can get discovered, so you can get more views, so that you can be able to get more people clicking on your video. So exactly how do you do this? Well, tip number 1, I believe that you start by doing this is you have to, here we go. You got to start with the thumbnail. Not just any type of thumbnail, because it's interesting in this content creation world and journey that we are all on. You see individuals who sometimes they will just take just a regular snapshot from the video and use that as a thumbnail. But if you really want to optimize your video, if you really want to optimize that live stream when you get ready to go live, it's best to go with a custom thumbnail. Have it customized so that when individuals see you schedule that live stream, they see you schedule that live stream, then they can see that this is a piece of content that, hey, look, I definitely got to check this out when this content creator goes live. Whether if you're going live like I do every Saturday morning at 11 a.m., if you go live at Tuesday nights at 8 p.m., or if you go live at 9 a.m. at Saturday morning, whatever your preference is, you want to have a customized thumbnail, a custom thumbnail that's going to help you optimize this live stream to rank in search. And so when you optimize it, you're putting your live stream in the best position for it to be viewed. And so I use this thumbnail as an example, where it says growing your business, top 10 tips. And so you have a thumbnail that's really speaking to the viewer, to the audience, to the target market that you're trying to reach. So you want to optimize it. You want it, that should be your first thought. Your first thought is you're planning your live stream, that custom thumbnail. Not only that, it needs to pop. It has to have some color to it. I'm a person who's a little preference to blue, where it's attractive and it's something that it's inviting and warm and inviting. So you want it to pop. But I think most importantly, when you're working on your custom thumbnail, you got to think mobile. You got to think mobile. You got to think mobile. Let me say that again so that we can get this for the Instagram reel. We can get this for the short clip. You got to think mobile when it comes to your custom thumbnail. It's because you want individuals to click on that thumbnail. Not only do you want them to click on that thumbnail, but you want those high impressions that you see in the YouTube analytics to begin to translate into the click-through rate of people clicking on your thumbnail. And so, hey, to be able to optimize your live stream, to get your live streams ranked in search, and viewed and get before the right audience, you gotta think thumbnail first. Not just any old thumbnail, but a custom thumbnail. So hey, it's something that we all as content creators have to work on. It's something that I'm constantly working on. I'm quite sure it's something that you're constantly working on. But I believe if we stick to that fundamental principle and getting a custom thumbnail, we're putting ourselves in the right place. We gotta say good morning to the man all the way from London. Mr. Ash Boland is in the house this morning. Good morning, sir. Ash says in the comments section, yes, so important, so important. It doesn't matter what piece of content you're making, if it's content marketing, if it's podcasting, if it's video editing, or if it's live streaming tips and strategies, you got to think thumbnail first. Got to think thumbnail first. We're talking about 5 tips on how you can optimize your live stream and get more views on YouTube. I believe the second tip you need to do is to have a compelling title. You got to have a compelling title. Now, guys, I'm a movie person. I'm a Marvel person. And so you got to have that compelling title for the movie, for the next Marvel movie to really get me to say, oh, I got to check this out. And I remember back in maybe 2018, 2019, it was probably 2018, 2019, Avengers Infinity War. The third installment of the Avengers came out. And man, that movie, top of the line, epic movie. But then the talk came out about what was going to be the next Avengers movie, Avengers 4. What was going to be the title? And there was all this speculation. What was it going to be? Avengers Annihilation? Was it going to be Avengers Assemble? And there was all this mystery around the next title for the Avengers. They knew they needed to have a compelling title. And that compelling title that Marvel used was Avengers 4 Endgame, which was a quote from Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Age of Ultron, which Tony Stark basically said during his discussion with the team in the battles that they faced when they were going to face their ultimate challenge, which was Thanos, that no matter what type of battles that they had with arms dealers and different challenges, battling the forces that would come from space would be the end game. Doctor Strange would go ultimately and echo that same thought in Infinity Wars and tell Tony, we're in the end game. And so when the title for Avengers 4 came out and it said Avengers 4 Endgame, all the Marvel fans blew up the internet, and with one accord just felt like a kid from Christmas ready to run downstairs to open Christmas presents. And so you got to have a compelling title to be able to optimize your live stream. You got to have a compelling title to optimize your video after you've ended the broadcast and now it becomes a replay video. You got to have a compelling title that when you're uploading it on YouTube, a compelling title, I believe, that has to be catchy. And again, Endgame, Avengers 4 Endgame. Those who are Marvel fans or have been following the Marvel saga, the Infinity War saga from Iron Man all the way to Avengers 4, they understood what that catchy title meant. Not only did they understood that it had to be catchy, Marvel said it needs to be concise. Has to be concise. And for us who are content creators on YouTube, we understand when we're writing out our titles, especially for mobile. I got to go back to mobile because that's where majority of people digest and view our content. If you keep it within 60 characters, I believe you're going to be able to optimize that title, and people will be able to see that custom thumbnail and that concise and catchy title. But I believe another key ingredient is having the keywords in that compelling title in the beginning of that title, so that way you can put it in the best position of that title, that compelling title sticking out on mobile. And if we do that, hey, desktop will take care of itself. The smart television will take care of itself. But we got to have a compelling title. We also see a part of Team Live this morning, our dear auntie, Denise Jordan, this and that. She goes on to say here, she's communicating in the chat saying good morning and saying good morning to everyone here that is a part of Team Live. And we want to say good morning to you, ma'am, as well. Definitely. Yes. We're always working together as a group. We're always working together to encourage one another, to be able to make sure that the content that we're putting out, we are helping one another to get it to the best level it needs to be. Hey, if you are getting great value out of this morning's live stream discussion and you are part of Team Live, I need a favor from you fans. I need a favor from your group. Do me a favor, click the thumbs up, smash the like button, and share this live stream this morning. If you know another content creator who you talk to this week and they're saying, hey, look, my views are down and I just don't feel like I'm not getting the discoverability for my YouTube video. I just don't feel like I'm getting the visibility for my live streams when I'm going live this morning. Do me a favor, share this live stream specifically to that person's Facebook page. Share this live stream specifically to their IG page, to specifically, say that 20 times real fast, to their LinkedIn page, and encourage them this morning that, hey, this is the video you need to watch on having to be able to customize your thumbnails and to be able to have a compelling title. Yes, we are just excited. And if you are part of Team Replay, if you're checking this out this morning on Team Replay in the chat, do me a favor, hashtag compelling title. Those of you who are in Team Live this morning, hashtag compelling title. Denise says, haha, only saw the last three. You saw the last three. You saw Black Panther. Okay, got you. So you saw Avengers. You saw the Avengers movies, and now Black Panther 2 has got you interested. Hey, it's about Marvel understands this. Marvel understands this. I submit to you, even Netflix. If you are a person who has Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, look at their page and how they organize and structure their content. They're structuring it, first of all, with a compelling title, a compelling no, I'm sorry, with a custom thumbnail in the category of either action and adventure, thriller, drama, whatever your category of content you want to digest. They're putting, the first thing is the custom thumbnail, the custom image for the movie that they want you to be able to click. They're already getting the impressions as viewers as we're scrolling on a Netflix, but they put that custom image, that custom thumbnail, along with the compelling title, and then they get the individual to click. Same principle when it comes to Netflix. Same principle that it comes to content we put online, whether on LinkedIn or on YouTube. Tip number three. Tip number three, I believe that's going to help me and you to be able to optimize our live streams when we go live and when it gets to becoming that replay video after ending the broadcast, is having a searchable description. Having a searchable description. Having a searchable description from this standpoint, because when you look at a YouTube video and you click on it, you see basically the first 200 characters before you click on that button that says that see more. Those first 200 characters, I believe, are critical, where you can put, again, the keyword and keyword phrases to optimize your live stream, to get more views, to optimize the video that you want to be able to get more in front of more home pages and get suggested and suggested videos, because we all know that Google is the number one search engine, and we also understand that YouTube is the second search engine that is used. And so in that searchable description, in those first 200 words, is where we can put keywords and key phrases. Not only that, we can be able to begin to give a soft expectation of what our video is going to be about, and and not turn around and take the title and repeat it in the description, but just kind of massaging it and wording it slightly different, so you can give the viewer the expectation. Because as I've been reading Daryl Eves' book called YouTube Algorithm, which is a great book, and just checking out some of his videos, it's not so much in terms of that we have to beat the algorithm. The algorithm is basically operating based upon the responses of the viewer. If you look at your own homepage and the type of content that you watch, the algorithm is just simply producing and putting before you and me as viewers content that they've seen that we normally watch. I watch a lot of Marvel clips and clips from Marvel movies. I watch the WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, Roman Reigns and the Usos and the Bloodline, which have all the gold. I watch so much of that content. I go on to YouTube. What do I see? I see the latest clip from last night's WWE SmackDown and what happened between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Why? Because the YouTube algorithm is saying you as a viewer have watched this in the past and you've continued to watch it and you've went to others. And so you want to maximize what you're doing. And then, even being able to have call to actions and being able to have, time codes and referable links to the next video. That's in the after you click the show more, that's where you can put all of that information and more. People, how they can follow you on other social media channels on the part that's below. And then if you click show less, again, you have those 200 characters. All of that, where it helps me and you to be able to get our live stream, get our videos ranking in search, being able to optimize it to get more views and to get it discovered more. Hey, if you are getting great value out of what we're talking about this morning, do me a favor, um, hashtag in the comment section, uh, pure value, hashtag in the comment section. Those of you who are a part of Team Live, pure value this morning. Tip number 4, cards and end screens. And cards and end streams is just another tool that YouTube gives me and you to be able, as individuals are watching our live streams, and you've won the click, you've won the clip, and you've produced the quality content to get the viewer watching your content, and that all plays into the AVG, your average view, AVD, average view duration, and now you're getting them to watch it. And one of the mistakes that I used to make when I first started using info cards was I would put them in the beginning of the video before really getting into live streaming. I would put them in the beginning, but I began that was a very poor practice on my part by doing that, because if the person did click on the info card, then they end up leaving the current video that I'm on. And so what the intended purpose of what the other video for never really gets fulfilled in being able to add value to the viewer. It doesn't really truly help to address the pain point in their life, because I've put the info card in the beginning, but I've learned that maybe in the last back part of the video, or the last part, what I do with the live streams, I put the info card once I get to the summary section. And so those who are a part of Team Replay, who watch to that point, and it gets to the summary, and maybe they don't want to see the summary or go into the questions and answer aspect, then the info card I felt has been the best place to put. But on top of that, being able to get the viewer to the next video that you've produced and that you feel that is related to the content, that's where I believe end screens can play a part. And being able to pull the viewer into your content, and seeing playlists and seeing more that's what's on your channel. All of these things play a part in optimizing your live stream. Yes, definitely. We're going to skip that because we've already had that call to action. Tip number 5, use relevant tags. As I've been reading Daryl Eve's book, he had an interesting thought on tags, and I really agree with him from this standpoint, where he was saying when you use relevant tags, there's some thought that YouTube doesn't really put that much emphasis on tags. But the simple fact, what he said in his book, was that YouTube hasn't taken it away yet. Still says there is a purpose for it. And so being able to put tags that are relevant and tie into the keywords to your title, being able to use tags that are relevant that you put within your description, all ties in and helping me and you to optimize our live streams. And so we take advantage after you've kind of uploaded that video, whether to go live or before you're ready to basically publish it. YouTube is already, if you're using TubeBuddy, TubeBuddy already provides some suggested tags from keywords that you can begin to put it into the tag box. So taking advantage of the auto tags, making sure some of your keywords are there in the tags. But most importantly, he talked about making sure that you don't over tag, don't keyword stuff and just going crazy with tags, because all of that is going to do you more harm than good. As we see more individuals joining us this morning on the huddle this morning, we want to say good morning to Mr. Equip Institute. Want to say welcome back. Thanks again for checking us out. got a chance to meet you on Thursday night, as we went live on Thursday night, just to just share some additional content through the middle of the week. We're still going to do live streams on Saturday morning, but we're going to definitely do some additional live streams, maybe one during the week on Thursday. So we got the privilege of meeting Equip Institute. Equip Institute goes on to say, did I get it up there? Cool. Perfect. He says, good tips. We are learning in direct ways from your experience. I mean, hey, I appreciate that. And we can learn from one another. Equip Institute, we can learn from one another, from the experience that we have all gained. Our dear Auntie Denise says, what happened there? Okay, perfect. There we go. Gosh, okay. Info cards. Okay. And she, I just on the response, she says, okay. Oh, yeah, I can tell from that may be an area that you got to work on. I hear you, Daryl. Then she goes on to say, yeah, Daryl Eves has a new book. It's called YouTube Algorithm. It is a great book. When we do our huddle hangout this morning at 12 p.m. This morning at 12 p.m. after the huddle this morning at 11 a.m. We can talk more about the book. I'll show you the book. So let me know in the chat if you did not get the link for the huddle hangout. I sent it via Google Calendar. I think I only saw Tech Troublemaker respond, and I saw Ash. So I just want to make sure everyone got it regarding that. And so let's get into summary time. So we talked about custom thumbnails that are going to be able to pop, primarily that are going to be able to reach the viewer that watches majority of the content via mobile, and thumbnails that, you know, that are not too busy and that doesn't have a lot of stuff going on, and that's just loud, and it just causes the individual to keep scrolling. You know, so we want to have a custom thumbnail. We want to have compelling titles. We want to have compelling titles. You want to have a searchable description, cards and end screens, and using relevant tags. And as I am reading more of this book on the YouTube algorithm, I am just getting so much out of this. And so as I get more, as I digest, and as I meditate on it, and as I put it into practice, not just being a hearer, as the word of God says, being a hearer of the word, but not being a doer, but not just reading the content, but actually applying the content becomes critical. Okay, so Real Chicago, you don't use Google. Okay, so I will send you an email direct to make sure you get that for sure. And so we're talking about 5 tips. These summaries of these 5 tips on how to optimize your live streams when you go live, and also when you end the broadcast, to take that replay video and optimize it so that way you can it can become more searchable on Google, and get into suggested, and being more visible in front of more people. And so I felt this was some great helpful content that we could share with the Huddle community. And if this is an area of expertise that you've got nailed down, hey, look, nothing wrong with a good review, but we all can benefit from it. We all can benefit. We want to say good morning to the Kobe Bryant of content creation, who has the Mamba mentality, Mr. James Hicks from Hicks News Media. Oh yeah, see, James brings out a power tip, chapters, YouTube chapters, and we're going to get into that next Saturday morning. Next Saturday morning, we're going to tie this live stream with next Saturday morning live stream, and just kind of share my feedback on some of my experience and how I began starting to use chapters, and some of the results from me using the chapters from I started doing, because the truth of the matter is, and maybe I, maybe it's just me. Sometimes you can watch people's live streams and they've live streamed for 2-3 hours and there's no chapters there. Maybe because, time, schedule, maybe they don't have a team to kind of go back and put those chapters there, or they just don't see the value in it. But let me just stand before you, um, before the altar of confession. Um, I was just being straight up lazy. I was just being lazy. I figured after I done my live stream, I would just go ahead and move on to the next live stream. I ain't even trying to repurpose anything. That's why I appreciate my man Real Chicago, aka Robert Reed. And he began to say, "Hey, look, we're missing a lot of great opportunity here." And so I'm not putting any chapters in it because I'm just being too lazy. And I wasn't doing it. But once I end up having this situation that happened, and I had a conversation with Ash about the situation. He gave me a little tip on how I could use chapters to kind of like get through that situation, and it's worked ever since. But had that situation never happened, I would have just continued to be lazy, and as a result, I'm missing on the opportunity on being able to optimize the replay and getting more views and getting it in search and seeing it into suggested, because I was just being straight up lazy. But that James brings up an excellent power tip on why you need to use chapters, and we're going to definitely get more into that. We're going to definitely get more into that. Our dear Auntie Denise says, okay, so she's talking to Real Chicago, and boom. Guys, if you have any additional power tips that you want to drop in the chat that we can discuss, hey, let's go for it. Let's go for it, because we all learn from one another here in the huddle. The whole concept, those of you who are new, like Equip Institute, the whole concept of the huddle comes from primarily from the NFL football league, where you see football teams during the game huddle before they snap the ball, whether if you're on offense and defense. But the concept of the huddle really stands out before me is before the opposing teams take the field. All 53 players, whether on offense or defense or special teams, they all come together, they gather together in a huddle, and they begin to encourage one another. They begin to remind one another, if they are the visiting team, in the opposing team, and the opposing fans are basically booing them and telling them why they can't accomplish what they need to accomplish, and that's basically to get the ball in the end zone and to win the game. They remind themselves of that. They remind themselves of the mission. They remind themselves of the talent. They remind themselves of the game plan. They remind themselves of the end game mission, and that is to get the W and to move on to the next game. And so I saw that concept. And I saw that concept, how they would remind one another and say, if you win your individual matchup on defense, that's going to help the offense. If you win your individual matchup on special teams, that's going to help the offense to move the ball based on the field position. And to me, that all says, when you get around like-minded creators who all want to win their own individual matchups and you're all huddled together, you're going to be able to come out on the end and win and put the ball in the end zone. And so that's what, in short, what the huddle is really about. And so if this is something you definitely feel you want to be a part of, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, where we're going to help you broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video, then we want to encourage you to subscribe. We want you to click the notification. And so when we go live, you can be able to be a part of the huddle experience. And so you can have added value to you. And so Let me see if there are any additional comments or questions or power tips here in the chat. Don't want to miss any. Absolutely. Appreciate that, sir. Appreciate it. I appreciate the vote of confidence, and we will continue to keep on going for that standard that you have basically uh, let us know that we have reached today. And see, we've been able to accomplish it today. But to me, it's we got the W today. We got the W today. Now we're gonna need to get the W for our very own Auntie Denise Jordan. So she gets the W. She wins her own individual matchup and getting more views and getting more visibility on her channel. It's about getting the W. Auntie Denise says, limit points on your cover live streams. You're always fun. Yeah, I try do 5. I feel, and then with these huddle hangouts that we do, if we want to go back and review some of these live stream masterclasses, Auntie, that we've done, we can certainly do that as well. But I always just try to keep it, to 5 basic tips. Maybe that's just because of me being a minister, and I've always been taught when you share God's word over the pulpit, you always stick to 3-5 points. You stick to your opening, you speak about the background, you go to your 3 and 5 bullet points, and then you go to your summary and your conclusion, and then you sit down. You don't say any more. And so I try to stick to that format. I feel it's digestible for our viewers, whether you are a part of hashtag Team Live or hashtag Team Replay, because we want to be able to keep people watching the content and watching more content. I'm not opposed to long live streams, 2-3 hours, but I feel this is what works for the huddle, and then it gives us more time to just conversate and to discuss and to share. And so as we get ready to bring this huddle to a close this morning, because we're going to have a huddle hangout, and I need to get an email out to Real Chicago, so make sure he can be a part of it. Just real quick, I would love to know, what has been your biggest win this week? What is in content creation? What's been a big win for you? Has it been an uploaded video that got you X amount of views that you were looking based on the goal that you set? Was it you being able to create better quality thumbnails? Has your win been about being able to make better, compelling, catchy, concise titles? Would love to know in the chat, what's been your biggest win this morning, just to kind of hear your testimony about what's working for you, so that we can put it here in the chat of the huddle to share with one another. Would love to see what has been your biggest win this morning. Okay, we got our man Ash all the way from London. Get this up here. He says, got an online course out. Wow. Oh, he's got an online course which is have to put out for age for. Are you saying for put out for a specific age group, or for ages? Put out for the ages. So he's got an online course. That's a big win. I appreciate you sharing that, Ash, because I've and we can definitely talk about this in the huddle hangout at 12. I've done enough kind of live stream master classes through these presentations. I need to see how to sit down and now take some of these master classes on presentations through Canva. And now do I go to Thinkific and now form this into an online course? Do I turn it into an ebook? So these are some of the next steps from an online creation to be able to generate a stream of income from them. So definitely want to talk about that on the huddle. Any others who have a win this week, that you would love to share? Auntie Denise says, as soon as I get the mouse in the right place. There we go. Perfect. Engagement on her community tab. Yes, getting more engagement on her community tab and in comments helps me to plan for new content. Man, that is a major win that, I have to, now that YouTube StreamYard gives me the ability to download sound effects. I need to get an applause button. I need to applaud you right just on the camera, but I want to get a sound effect for applause, because that's a major win there for our auntie. And so that's what we're going to do before we go off. Just kind of get some of the feedback of what your wins are, and we can share it with the rest of the group here on the huddle. And so we're excited. We are definitely excited about what we're doing. And so we appreciate the Kobe Bryant of LiveStream, Mr. James Hicks, giving us a sneak preview, encouraging us to just go into a sneak preview for next week's YouTube live stream discussion on YouTube chapters. And all of this kind of ties back into just, getting your live streams, your replay videos or your uploaded videos, optimizing for search, ranking in search. And as we get more material and we learn from Daryl E's book on YouTube, um, algorithm, we're going to definitely share more. So we are excited for the Huddle Hangout. So we're going to get ready for that. And so question of the day is simply this: which of these tips that you've learned today that you're going to apply on your channel? Is it going to be making better custom thumbnails, writing better compelling titles? Is it going to be working more on making your description more searchable, rather on Google or YouTube? Is it going to be with info cards and end screens or relevant tags? Leave us your thought. Just put tip number 1, tip number 2, or all of them in the comment section. Thumbnails for sure. I hear you, real Chicago. I hear you. Perfect. Chapters. Auntie Denise says chapters. Yeah, we can get into that in the Huddle Hangout for sure. And we're going to definitely get into that for sure more. And so as we get ready to close this live stream out in preparation of the Huddle Hangout, so I can get that email over to Robert, we always close out by saying, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that will prevail in your life. Make a quality decision today and let God's purpose prevail in your life, so that God can add value in your life and you can add value in someone else's. And so we will see you, those of you who've gotten your invitation for the Huddle Hangout, we will see you at 12 p.m. And we will be live again Thursday night. We're going to go live again Thursday night just to put some more content out and get in front of some new viewers. That's what we're doing. And if you haven't subscribed to the Huddle, again, we want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. But most importantly, if this has been a great piece of content that you've enjoyed and you've spoken to someone who said they've had this pain point, I need you to share it to their Facebook page or social media page today. Share it, and then tell them to share it with someone else. We will see those of you who got the invite for the Huddle Hangout in a few minutes. God bless.